Hi everyone, welcome back to Create Every Day in April. Today is April 18th, 2018. Today we're going to be making or attempting to make a carousel card. Joyce encouraged me to make this thing. She told me it was easy. I don't know, we'll see. First of all, I want to just give you an update on our house. It dried and this is how it's looking so far. The only thing is this piece right here I didn't get in close enough. You can barely see that little crack, so we'll have to make sure there's no flooding and no leaking in the roof when we put this thing together. So yeah, that's just a quick update on that. We'll probably work on that in a couple of days, maybe in the 20s. So what we're going to be doing today is creating a carousel card, and this is how this is the prototype, and let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to walk you through this. I did not create this. I actually went on YouTube to find a carousel card, and they don't really call them carousel cards. They call them a pop box, 3D pop box, or something like that. When I typed in carousel card, carousels actually came up. Like someone made a real carousel card with ponies and things like that you ride at a fair or the amusement park. So we're going to be using this paper house paper. Now I'll tell you that this paper is really thin, so be careful when you score your paper. If you want to use a thicker paper, you can. I attempted to use a thicker paper, but this, in my opinion, was too thick. It's like super thick, and I did not feel like cutting and trying to glue all that together. So I was like, let me find something that I can manage, that I feel comfortable with, because I did not feel comfortable making this card at first. But now that I've figured out the kinks for myself, you know, I always tell you I have to work things out in my head. We're good. So what I want to do is I want to probably get some of the writing pieces and maybe a map. And I'm just going to do a quick flip through. I think I've already did a flip through of this one before, but just in case, if you're interested in getting it, I'm not sure if it's on sale right now at Hobby Lobby, but you definitely can go and check it out. You know, it's your money. Do whatever you feel you need to do. I will tell you that I always recommend getting these things on sale. Don't buy full price. This thing is 13 bucks. You can get it for $6.50 or less if they have it on clearance, but they didn't have it clearance where I live. So these are the 4 sheets that I chose. A globe, looks like some writing or a love letter of some sort, another love letter, and then more pieces of a map. So I am just going to show you how to do one piece. If you want to, I'm going to link the information that I found. I used 2 sources. A guy did one with a cute little tiny box, and then a lady did one for Stampin' Bella that was on Pinterest. So what I want to tell you is that I chose to use an 8x8 because I feel like it was something easy for me to manage. I didn't have to worry about getting an 8.5 by 11 and cutting it down and having crooked lines. If you want to use a 12x12 paper, by all means, go ahead and do that. Just know that your card will be a 6x6 card. If you use a 6x6 paper, then you know it's going to be 3x3. You know, the dimensions half it up, and that's what you get. So all I want to do is score in half. And remember to be careful with your paper. If you don't want your paper to tear, then just spritz it with water and it will be fine. Now, what I'm going to do, which is super easy for me, I'm going to take these 2 tips and butt them right at the end. Make sure they marry up very well. And I'm just going to come and fold just like this. And the reason why I'm doing that is because for some reason, when I put this in the center and try to center it, I'm always off. But when I do this and I have a line already created on there, I can just put it on any score and go from the middle. Once I find the middle, and create my score line, no problem. Because you really want to have a crisp score line. You don't want it to be crazy. So you can also just take it, fold it over, and varnish it on a flat surface. So we've done one together. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 and come back. Okay, so I did these over here. So when you finish doing all your folding, what I saw the people that created this do is they just, well, I like to do this, I'm not sure, and I saw them do it as well, but I just want to make sure that my folds actually folded properly, and they do for the most part, which is something that you want to make sure is good to go. You don't want to have folds that don't fold all the way down. So now I don't know this portion. What I did was I just freehanded this next piece, and since this is already tore, we'll cut that off. And what you're going to do is make a little divot. So you're going to cut one line, and we're going to do that together. We'll do one together, and you cut a divot and you make this, and I just kind of freehanded this portion, because I mean, this looks fairly simple, right? And what I'm about to say, you may be shocked, but I think that the quality of the some of the Paper Studio is not that great, because I just changed out my cutting blade on this Fiskars paper trimmer, and my edges are getting jagged. So not like the Singing Group either. I think that maybe the quality of this paper isn't the greatest, but it's okay. It's still pretty, very pretty paper. And now I'm just going to take some scissors and cut. And this paper is thin, so like I said, it's your choice if you want to use a thinner paper or a thicker paper. The thing that I didn't want to do, like I said, when I first started, when I did the first one or tried to do one, is do it wrong. Oh, that's not a good divot, but that's okay. We'll be all right. That's why I put a line there too. Oh no, see, it tore. That's okay, we can fix that. Nothing a little glue or washi tape won't work on, right? And that's how it's going to look. So besides the tear, it's going to have this fold and then this fold, and it's going to have this little lip for now. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other three. Hopefully I don't tear those, and we'll be ready to go to the next portion. Okay, as I was sitting here thinking, I want you all to know that I'm not bashing Paper Studio, because some of the paper they have is awesome, and it's very thick and good quality, better quality, like this right here, this little 6x6. This paper is definitely thicker than that paper. And I'm not bashing Fiskars, because you know I love Fiskars. That is my new favorite cutting board or paper trimmer, whatever it's called. I think it's called the paper trimmer. I love it. I do have another one. I have We Are Memory Keepers, and that's not the greatest. I did get a replacement one because the other one, the spring broke on it some kind of way. When I closed it, the spring broke off. So they sent, the company is very good at sending you replacement pieces. So they have good customer service, good business practices. So I definitely, I'm not poo-pooing on them either. And you know, We Are Memory Keepers or American Crafts, because that's really who it is, American Craft. They are all over Tuesday morning, and so a lot of the stuff we purchase from there says We Are Memory Keepers or different things like that, but it's definitely paper, American Craft. So just keep that in mind whenever we think about it. Like, I got some paper punches and they didn't work, so I contacted the company, and this was EK Tools. I think it was EK Tools, and it's actually Wilton, you know, the cake decorating or the food. That's who I had to go through. Simplicity, you know, the clothing. So they're all kind of wrapped in one, which is cool. The thing is, usually the people that are working at these locations aren't really crafters, so they don't understand sometimes how you feel about your craft supplies or your tools being broken or not working properly. But they have great customer service. EK Tools, Simplicity, has great customer service. I've actually enjoyed dealing with them when I had to get a replacement. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to take some glue, and they use glue. They don't use tape. They use glue. And I'm just going to put that there this time instead of Having to wipe up the area, and I'm just going to be very liberal with the glue. Now, if you're going to make this, you can definitely, that girl is smart, right? I was supposed to do this, right? But I did it the other way. So let's go ahead and fix that. No big deal, because we are going to glue that piece down to something else. So no big deal. You just have to worry about it sticking to something else right away. And this is how it's going to look. Yep. That's what you get for running your mouth. Right. Okay, so there we go with that piece. I'm just going to keep on doing it because I screwed that one up. And if you're watching, you need to have it done properly versus improper. So what you're going to do is actually glue it like that. So we're just going to take this piece and apply some glue. You can use wet glue if you want. I'm just using this stick, this glue stick, because the guy that made it, I think is a guy. It looks like a man's hand. There was no talking in the video, just some cool music. But you know, I prefer talking on the videos because that way I can understand what you're saying better. But I do understand that everyone doesn't speak English, but they still are amazing crafters and they make amazing craft videos. So, you know, you get what you want. You get what you need. You just have to pay attention, and that's what I have done. It was a very good tutorial, and it was a small one. He made like a super small one. Which was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, if that is as easy as it is, Joyce is right. It's not hard at all. But you know, in your head, when you see something that someone creates, well, for me, and it's like amazing, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. All right, so this is how they will fold down on themselves, and this is how they will look. Now, what I've noticed that the people did that I'm following, they took their end pieces, all of their ends, and the ends were at the bottom. Doesn't matter the direction, they were all at the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. Let's make all ours at the bottom, because in the end, how we want it to look is like a carousel. And since this is a nautical themed one, we will definitely use some nautical inspired things to go on here. Nothing too fancy, but we would definitely do that. I am having some pain. This knee pain will not go away as quickly as I wanted to. Last year, I had the same issue. Same exact issue. The good thing is the daycare was watching my son. At the time, I went to I was doing physical therapy, so I went to physical therapy, and the physical therapist looked at my knee, and she was like, "What's wrong? How are you doing today?" I was like, "Not so great. My knee," because I was getting treated for my knee, and she looks at it, she's like, "Yep, something's definitely wrong with that knee." It was humongous, humongous. So we go, she sends me over to get treated. Make sure your pieces come down. She sends me over to get treated in the emergency room. I'm like, what emergency room? And I didn't know that they had an emergency room in the sports medicine place. So I go and they do an x-ray, and it's like, oh, we can't see anything. It's just some inflammation. You're going to have to go get a, what is that? A scan. So, I go over to the hospital. Now I have to drive. I have to call work and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on with me. And then I call a daycare and let them know that I'm going to another portion, another spot to get treated, to get seen. And now I'm freaking out because they're like, if you have a blood clot, thrombosis, which is the same thing, you're going to get admitted to the hospital. And I'm like, who's going to watch the little roommate? Like, oh no. So I'm crying at this point, right? Because I'm concerned that someone's going to have to watch my baby. And I'm crying because, you know, when you're by yourself, people always offer that great advice. Why don't you let somebody watch your son? Or you need to do this. I'm like, you don't understand. When I say I'm by myself, I'm by myself. I don't have anyone to watch him. And daycare was great because it was in the same building where I worked. And if I ever needed to see him or go and get him, I just went down to the area where he was and I got him. But anyway, so I go there and the lady's talking to me and she's telling me, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, am I going to get admitted? That's all I care about. I don't even care about what's really going on with my leg now. And she's like, I have to go talk to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and whenever someone tells you that, just be prepared for the worst news ever. But in my case, it was good news. The physician saw me. He was like, yep, we don't know what's going on. But you're good. You don't have a clot, And so I was like, awesome, 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 awesome. But sometimes advice is just advice. I know it's easier to tell someone you need to go and get seen than actually the logistics behind it. But now that I'm home, I do trust my neighbor who lives across the street. We've been knowing each other the whole time I've had this place. And the big roommate is here. He's not here all the time, not every day. He's local or regional, but he's not local. When he was with the other job, he would be all over the place. I'm like, where are you going? I'm on my way to New Hampshire. I'm like, what? Okay. So this job is better for us logistically speaking, but if you're the only person that works and the other person stays home and takes care of the family, you really can't afford to miss days from work. And since I've had this issue before, I know that it's going to take a while to go away. So I will not be cutting grass anymore, just so you all know. I'm not going to touch the man's lawn more, maybe. I actually enjoy cutting grass. Like, I'm not sure about you all, but it's something about the smell of fresh mown grass that just makes me think of simpler times. And now that I've talked you to 17 minutes, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Okay, so right here, you can decide if you want to decorate this or not. On this one, I just put a piece of paper on there, so I would know that that was the beginning of this carousel card. I actually received one from Berry Crafty Bonet, and I didn't know what the heck it was. I knew it was a beautiful creation, but I didn't know it was like a carousel card, a pop-up card or whatever. I've seen a few of them, but this is our end product. I absolutely like it. Now, I'm not going to decorate it on camera because we're at 17, almost 18 minutes. And I do like for you all to just get a quick, something fun and fast from me. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but my leg is kicking my butt as well. So I need to get up and walk around. Hopefully it'll get better. But I like this so far. It's very cool and nice. Thank you, Joyce, for challenging me. I do appreciate you telling me that I could make it yesterday. And I wanted to go ahead and get it complete because I don't like to back down from a challenge. Now, if you said, let's make, I don't know, a 3D rendering of something, I'd probably be like, no, I can't do that for real. But this right here, thank you. I really appreciate that. Now, what you could do, and I probably will do this, is just go into the rooms, like each of these little rooms, and probably put something here. And on the video, they actually cut down the pieces and did that. And I just think that's a lot of work for this. Like, why do we need to do that when we already have our decorative paper? Don't worry about that. So I'll probably put some stamp on the banners that says, not all wonder or loss. I love that saying. I'm not sure why I love it so much, but I absolutely love that saying. I guess because in my head I'm like I've always wanted to be a drifter. Yeah. So I want to say thank you all for watching. If you want to see me decorate some of these projects that I said we're going to hold off for another time, let me know in the comments. So I'll know if you want a longer video or a shorter video. I like to try to keep them under 10 minutes so you can go on about your day and do other things. Until tomorrow, happy crafting.